Hey everybody. I just got an idea for sharing some tips with you guys and gals that like to come on the live streams on a pretty regular or semi-regular basis. Um, and this is not only to help me minimize interference on the streams. It's not like a huge problem. Um, but I thought it bared, not necessarily repeating because I haven't talked about this specifically, but just sharing some of the knowledge or some of the little tweaks and things that I've found that have helped me have better audio when I'm doing particular streams. Um, so, and I don't have the thing, I don't think, turned on where it smooths out my face, so I apologize for the blemishes on my face, but I know you guys aren't here to necessarily look at me and what I'm doing, um, but you're here to listen to see what I'm talking about. And I wasn't going to do this tonight, but then I thought, well, what the hey? I'll just get on here and share a few tips. And this is not meant to call anybody out or anything like that. I just noticed that sometimes um, when certain people are on particular live streams or watch alongs, that there's interference. And, we may try these things and it may not help, but, um, it's worth mentioning, I feel like, anyway. So before I get into the different settings for audio for StreamYard, something else that I have found over the years, especially in my jobs in IT, or, watching somebody, film things for the first time with like a video camera. Anytime a cell phone is around stuff like a video camera or anything where something's being recorded, there is a chance of the cell phone causing interference. Now, I can't ask people to, necessarily put away their cell phones and stuff like that. But I have found that the closer the phone is to your computer, your laptop, or whatever that you're using to do the streams with, the more chance that you have of the cell phone causing interference. And what this interference sounds like is just like a kind of noise. And I have found that it sometimes doesn't happen when the person that has their cell phone close by is talking. It's when other people in the stream are talking. And although it's not as distracting as echoes, echoes are like super distracting. But it is, it makes it hard, especially with a watch along, because I had been thinking about transferring the audio and maybe the video too, primarily for my own personal, enjoyment of, making myself a disc, putting the movie on there and then having us talk over it, which is something we can't do because YouTube would yank it. And I just don't want to get into a big mess of copyright issues. But there have been a few of the watch alongs where the interference is such that I am afraid that when someone rewatches this, or if I put together this stuff personally for myself, um, it's gonna, kind of take away of the enjoyment of listening to us talk about the movie because you've got interference going when other people are talking. So, I will only suggest, I won't, demand, but I love having many, many different people on the watch alongs. Um, and I do know that sometimes people use their phones to actually come in on StreamYard, which I don't think it will cause as much interference if you're using the phone as the device that you're on StreamYard for. However, if you're using a laptop or a desktop computer or something like that, and your phone is really close to the computer or is being charged in the same room, I've discovered that it will cause interference. So the only thing I can ask of people is just try not to have it too close by. Again, I can't demand that people remove their cell phones from the room that they're in. I just want to give people some tips that will minimize on distractions and interference and things like that. Now, moving on from that, there are certain things that you can do to have echo cancellation, noise, background noise suppression, and all that. And people may not even realize that these settings are within StreamYard. So, what I'm going to do here in just a second is I'm going to share my screen with you and show you these different settings that you probably didn't even know were there. If you're not a regular user of StreamYard, if you just come on people's streams, if you're not doing live streams yourself, you probably haven't discovered these things. So, what I'm going to do is give me just 1 second here. And I'm going to share my screen. Here in just a second when I can figure out which one I am using here. Okay. All right. So, what I want to share with you guys, and let me make sure that this is showing up on here. Let me trying to make this as big as I possibly can so that you guys will see what I'm actually doing here. Okay. So, yeah, that's not gonna be too good. Okay. So hopefully you guys and gals with me down in the corner, you can actually see um that you have like three different options here, right? You have mute, you have stop cam, and you have settings. And this is the settings is what we're going to focus on tonight. Now, this all takes place before you enter the studio. Okay. So if we click on settings, there's a lot of different things that you can do here. One new thing that I absolutely love, and it got turned off for whatever reason, but I'm not going to worry about it. But normally, I tell it to touch up my appearance. You can also mirror your camera, which you can see that there. I'm going to turn that off. Uh, you can touch up your appearance, and you can slide it all the way over, which is what I usually do to, because I'm self conscious and don't like all my blemishes showing. Now, another thing that you can do if you have multiple cameras, you can pick the camera you want to use. You can also change the camera resolution. Um, Now, that may not be something that you can change widely, the camera resolution, because depending on the package that if you've got the free version, you're probably not going to be doing much with camera resolution. But if you have one of the packages that you purchased, you could have 720, you could have 1080p. I have paid for a package where I can have 1080p resolution. But if you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, you also have an audio option. All right. So This is where you make sure that you have the right microphone chosen, which some of you may use multiple microphones. You can also, and you can see that the green is going across on these dots, which means that my microphone is picking up the sound of my voice. Okay, you can also choose the speaker options. I have my computer speakers uh, set up to be the default. And you can also test it and make sure the sound is working correctly before you get on the stream.
Testing the speakers on Streamyard. Sounds like they're working.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that. Now, underneath, these are the really important things here. You have echo cancellation. Definitely, if you're going to be on somebody else's stream, I would recommend that you have this checked. Also, they have a new option, reduce microphone background noise. I would also recommend that you have that checked. Don't have the stereo audio turned on. And I usually have automatically adjust mic volume. So I have these three options chosen on there. So it's real easy to do. It's just mainly a click in the box. See, I removed it. I'm going to put it back. And then I also had to go back and automatically adjust my volume. Okay. So just as a little bonus thing, if you have a green screen, which they say for best performance, we recommend using a green screen, which I will show you. And you may have seen some of these default backgrounds people have used on streams. For instance, Lori's friend or Blissful's friend Wayne, when I did the interview with him, you guys and gals probably noticed this background being chosen. Now, if I had my green screen up, I probably wouldn't have this black hovering and like it moves around and you can see my chair behind me and all that stuff. But there are different backgrounds that you can pick. There's a brick wall. Some of these I have added, like this one. Some of you guys and gals probably remember this one early on when I first started using StreamYard. That I had the cabin. I used this one around Valentine's Day. There's I was trying to move so you guys could actually see that scary guy behind me. But so you can upload your own backgrounds too. That's another one that I've used in the past. So is this one. Some of you probably remember the ghost because they said everybody was saying, "Hey, Danny, you got a ghost behind you." I used the Reggie Bannister one, which you can't really see that real good. There's Forrest Gump. There's a Christmas one. And they also have where you can do video. Like you've seen the Dead Pit guys, they use snow falling. I think I used snow falling and stuff like that. That's something new that StreamYard has. You can also mess with recording. Some of this stuff is for the people that are actually hosting or doing the actual live stream. This is something that I can play around with. Guests can stream to their own destinations. Guests see viewer comments and posts. I could set it up to play a sound when guests enter, or I could set it up to guests must authenticate. I have no banned guests right now, but I may have to add some here soon. Green room, that's the best way to manage guests for important streams. So, and it does say upgrade to a growth or business plan to access green room, ensure your guests are ready to go live. So you also have a general setting, and I've got my stream quality set for full high definition, orientation set to landscape. I shift videos up for comments and banners, audio avatars, automatically add shared screens and videos to stream. Okay, so those were just a few extra things. I'm going to turn this virtual background off. You can also blur your background. Some people like to do that as well, but I'm going to change that back to none. And so we're going to get out of that. So you can also stop your camera or mute yourself from this screen. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And so what I wanted to do, I went on for about 15 or 16 minutes, and that's about average for me. But I just wanted to share some things that I've learned over time of using StreamYard, and tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way um, from different people. Um, Mainly the StreamYard guys and gals. They do videos all the time. You can subscribe to them on YouTube. And if you're interested at all in doing live streams or interested in improving the quality of either your video or your audio when you're on someone else's live stream, even, um, I would definitely subscribe to them. There are many, many other guys and gals out there too. All you got to do is just go doing a search on YouTube. You know, you could put StreamYard tips and tricks in there, and I'm sure a whole bunch of stuff would come up. So I thank you guys and gals for watching this. I'm going to upload this soon because this was not a live stream. This is just a pre-recorded video I'm going to upload, and you guys and gals can check it out if you're at all interested. And I'll see everybody next time. And thanks for watching, guys.